I'm working on a 2013 Audi Q5. Customer's complaint is the power steering doesn't feel right. This is another job I do frequently. The Audi Q5 and also the A4s and S4s, you see it mostly on. The steering will feel, when you're centered, it'll feel perfectly fine. And then you'll turn it to about this angle, and then you'll start to feel a lot of resistance, and then you'll get past it, and then it'll be easy, and then it'll feel difficult, then it'll feel easy, then it'll feel difficult, and you'll feel a binding. It's the intermediate shaft. It's the lower steering shaft that connects to the rack. The U-joint on the lowest the lowest U-joint on the steering shaft, where right at the rack, that one gets exposed to the most elements. It's down there right in the water and salt, and it ends up just getting rusty and falling apart. It's a common problem. The book time for it's kind of high, so it might be something you would want to do yourself. It's not very difficult at all. I'll go through how to do that. So under the footwell here, you want to make sure your key is out and your steering is locked so it doesn't spin. If it spins, you can damage your clock spring, so you want to make sure the steering wheel is locked. And then that one pinch bolt right there, right here. Sorry, my lighting is so bad. You pull that off, and then you can see someone actually looks like they sprayed penetrating oil on this U-joint, thinking that would solve the problem. This U-joint is always fine on this end because it's not exposed to anything. It's in a clean environment. So they were trying something. So you loosen that, and then you can just push it right off the steering shaft. And then you lift the car up. And there's the rest of it coming straight down there. And there's just a pinch bolt the same way right there on this end. You can see it right there, and that's the U-joint that ends up seizing up. You can see it's it's just out here in the open, so that's the one that gets rusty and corroded and ends up binding. And when you pull it off, you'll feel that you'll be able to move it one way freely, and the other way will be seized. There'll be a lot of effort to get it to pivot on that pin. And then it's a very, very straightforward job. Your alignment won't be out, nothing like that. You'll be able to put the part on and drive off, and your steering wheel will be straight. It can only go on one way, so this is really hard to screw up. There's actually a notch in this in the rack. There's a notch that the bolt fits into, so there's no way to have it rotated wrong or anything like that. The only thing you have to be careful of when you're doing this job is make sure this rubber grommet is positioned all the way through and sealing up the cabin of the car. Make sure you pull on those fingers, these rubber fingers right here. Sorry, I can't really show you very well with everything in place, but those rubber fingers, make sure you pull those through, and that rubber grommet is positioned correctly. Otherwise, you can get water inside your car. So, other than that, super straightforward job. It's a high book time, so you might want to do it yourself. Thank you.